back to the channel. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I am pre-filming a bunch of videos today, so if my makeup looks the same, that is why. I don't do the same makeup every single day. But I just wanted to film this video because I know some people have a lot of questions about veganism and going vegan and whether or not you'll die of protein deficiency. But the answer is yes, hell yeah, I'm vegan. So about 2 years ago, would have been the furthest thing from a vegan. Like, I was the person who was like, but what about bacon? Like, I could never go vegan. I could never do that. And then my diabetes got super, super bad. Like, real bad. We thought that we might be pregnant. And so me and my husband and we kind of got excited. It wasn't planned. We hadn't confirmed that I was. We just thought I was. And so I went to the doctor because I had read online that if you're diabetic and you are if you're diabetic, then there could be like a whole lot of complications. And basically I went to WebMD and I was like, oh my god, my baby's gonna be born deformed because I have diabetes, which is not true. You can have a normal pregnancy diabetic. You just have to, like, you know, they have to monitor you more. So just in case you are diabetic and, you know, you're overweight, you can have a healthy pregnancy. Just understand that your doctors will want to monitor you more. So anyways, I went to the doctor and I told him, look, I've read all this stuff online. I'm super nervous about it and I don't want it to hurt the baby. And the doctor was like, well, okay, first of all, you're not pregnant. And second of all, you're super overweight and your like sugar is off the charts, like literally off the charts. And if you don't do something about this now, you're going to die. So they just put it really, really, sorry, my neighbors are like trying to fix their car, I think. So if you hear a car noise, that's why, sorry. I'll try to edit that out. So I went to a doctor here in Portland, and he was actually the son of a famous, of Dr. McDougall, who does a ton of, like, videos on YouTube, and he's got books and stuff, and, like, the McDougall method of, like, how to go vegan, and, like, for weight loss and other stuff. Which you should check out. Him and Dr. Neil Barnard are, if you were a diabetic and you're looking specifically to like control your diabetes and control your sugar levels, that's really important. So just to give you perspective, at this time I was doing keto diet, so I was not eating carbs, I was working out, and I was on medication, and my diabetes was still out of control. Like, I was just so uncomfortable. Like, my body was just felt bad. It felt awful. So I went to this doctor who happened to be Dr. McDougall's son, and he's here in Portland, Oregon, and he's now up at OHSU. Hey, Dr. McDougall! But so he said, all right, try this for 90 days. Try to, you know, here's some videos, here's what you're gonna do, and it's a low-fat, plant-based diet. And I was so upset because I thought that I had hurt my baby. I thought that there was no baby. Just so you know, there was no baby. But in my mind, my life choices would have harmed any baby that would have been there. That wasn't. And that's the thing that woke me up and made me finally make a change. I've been overweight my entire life. I've never been more overweight than I was about 2 years ago. I was about 325 pounds. And I really just wasn't healthy, like, at all. Even though I was trying to work out and do keto and I was losing weight, but my blood sugar wouldn't come down. And my poor husband, like, just had to see me in tears all the time because I couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, I did the plant-based diet, and within 3 or 4 days, a lot of my inflammation went away, a lot of my, like, the pain in my knees went away, and all of a sudden, my blood sugars started normalizing. I didn't have the super crazy spikes. I didn't have the shaking hands right after lunch. I didn't have to take medication. I was still taking my medication at the time, but about a month in, they took me completely off my medication because my blood sugar was getting so low. because of the medication that I was, having the shakes again. And I thought, oh no, like I'm doing it wrong. And they said, no, no, no. Like I would test my blood and, it was way too low. So I did that for about a year, and over a year, I lost about 50 pounds. It's been another year so far, and just so you know, there's a difference between a low-fat vegan diet and just a vegan diet. So for the past year, I've been on like a vegan diet where I've been eating way too much vegan fast food and way too much like plant-based oils and stuff like that, which is a no-no if you're a diabetic. You're just supposed to like have them very sparingly, but y'all, I found vegan buffalo wings at Native Foods Cafe. What up, Native Foods? And yeah, so I've continued to lose weight, but not at the rate that I was the first year. So I'm excited about it, but now I feel like it's time to start working out again and, doing that. And I was for a while, like that was kind of like the thing that I was doing. That's how I was doing it. I have a really bad tendency of like finding a thing and then doing it for a long time and then getting bored and then not doing it. And like you can't really do that with fitness. It's got to be like a consistent thing. But that's the reason why I tried a vegan diet in the first place, was because something happened in my life that just, there was kind of like this catalyst moment that made me, it basically was like, well, I gotta try this. I have to try. And I thought it was going to be really, really hard. And it wasn't. Once I made the decision, it wasn't hard at all. And then I watched movies like Forks Over Knives and What the Health, and it kind of gave me more reasons to be vegan. Like I didn't know how bad factory farming was until I saw those things. And Earthlings. I think Earthlings is one of the most emotionally traumatizing things you'll ever watch on a screen, but it's also, I feel like it's like taking yourself out of the matrix, where you look at something and you see the cruelty and the gross conditions of not only like what animals go through, but the people who work in that industry go through. And by no means am I saying that the agricultural industry is like a shiny, happy example, because people definitely get taken advantage of. Like immigrant workers get taken advantage of when they like pick vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. So none of the system is perfect. But when you see something like Earthlings, it's super hard to ever go back. I think you can find it. I'll link down to it below if you want to see it. I will tell you that it is disturbing content. There are people who are doing things that, they're doing things to animals that you would never, ever, ever think would happen. When I was eating meat, I honestly thought that cows just lived on a happy little farm and had one bad day. Like, that's what it was. But when you realize that these animals get tortured every single day of their lives, when we don't actually need to consume animal products or fat. And I know lots of people they're going to feel all kinds of ways about it, but the American Dietetics Association, which is like the association of dietitians in the United States, says that a vegan diet is perfectly healthy and appropriate for people at all stages of life. So from infancy all the way through pregnancy, all the way to old age. Like, you can be a vegan your entire life and you'll be just fine. As a matter of fact, you have much lower incidences for things like heart disease, diabetes, problems with cholesterol. You have a much, much lower chance of those. And you can see that with the things like in the Seventh-day Adventist community, because a lot of Seventh-day Adventists are vegetarians or vegans. It is a personal choice, and we live and it is a privileged position. I get to decide what I will and won't consume. And people a lot of times are like, yeah, but going vegan's so expensive. rice and beans are literally the least expensive foods on earth. Yeah, if you're talking about like the vegan fast food and the restaurants and like the fake cheeses and fake meats and stuff like that, like it does get pretty expensive. But for the most part, like we just eat really whole foods like rice, beans, vegetables, throwing some rice together with some cilantro and lime and some bell peppers and some like salsa to make dinner. And it's just made our lives so much better. And so I'm not making this video to tell you what you should do, but how this has helped me. And if you were curious, because a lot of times I do say in a video like, I won't buy this because I'm vegan, I won't do this because I'm vegan, like I will only use vegan makeup products, there are some products that like I purchased before I went vegan that I definitely just like I'm trying to use up, because there's not really any point in trying to replace it with a vegan option until it goes off, because I've already, to me, the act of spending the money was already the support of that product. And so there's a couple of things that, we do still have hanging around. Like I think I have a moisturizer that's not completely vegan. And it's just one of those things where, I always tell people I'm a vegan, not an angel. So like I make mistakes all the time. Like I think I accidentally ate something with honey in it the other day. But my whole point is that you can do whatever you want to do, but just make sure that you have all the facts and that you do the research for yourself. Like don't believe a word I say. Go do the research for yourself and look up like actual peer-reviewed studies on like the Journal of American Medicine or the National Institute of Health or the American Dietetics Association. If you want to watch some videos from a YouTuber who is a vegan, but he really does a great job of kind of citing studies and being able to interpret them without really being preachy, or he does have a little sass. He's a little sassy. His name's Mike the Vegan, M-I-C the Vegan, and I will link down to his channel below. And there's a couple of things in there that he has, a couple of videos that I think are really worthwhile watching. Like one about anthropologists who say, there's a debate whether or not we owe our brain size to meat, but some anthropologists think it's actually due to grains. So there's a lot of different things that we just don't know, but we do know for a fact that you don't need to consume meat to be healthy. Like, I've been vegan for 2 years and I'm still alive and not hungry or starving at all. But like I said, there's plenty of options. And to be fair, I live in Portland, Oregon, which is one of the most vegan friendly places in the world. We have a vegan barbecue place, y'all, and it is fantastic. And I was lucky enough that my husband did it with me. So I feel like if you have that support system to do, it's so nice. If you were interested in just kind of like trying out some recipes and doing some stuff, there's a really, really good website called, you can go to forksOverKnives.com, or you can go to Minimalist Baker. I believe most, if not all, of her videos and recipes are vegan. And there is an awesome book called Eat Like You Give a Damn, and that's just like one of the best. They've got like vegan tacos in there, and they're really like flavorful meals, and it's really cool. Excuse me. What the Health is on Netflix, as well as Forks Over Knives. There is also Cowspiracy is on Netflix as well. That one's about environmental stuff. So if you want to know about the health aspects of being vegan, I would suggest Forks Over Knives and What the Health. If you want to know more about kind of like the environmental impacts of the meat industry and the dairy industry, I would suggest Cowspiracy. So there's a ton of different ones. Oh, and Vegucated is a good one too, about people from all different walks of life who kind of explore a vegan lifestyle and like kind of how hard it is if you are doing it on your own. You know, a lot of people they'll definitely have their opinions about it. And if you're paleo or keto or anything like that, like, that's great. I'm really happy for you. If it's working for you, that's fantastic. This is just my story, and I don't think you're a bad person for eating meat. I don't think anything like that. I think you should nourish yourself in the best way that you think possible, and the way that makes you the happiest, the healthiest, and the most in tune with what your beliefs are. My belief structure has just changed over the past couple of years, and I honestly just want to encourage people to explore new things and find out about it. And if you have questions about veganism, put them in the comments down below, and I will happily talk to you about them. Thank you guys so much for this kind of like sort of get to know me video. But if you have other questions that you are just dying to know, I would love to tell you. I will tell you that I'm kind of like a normal person, where I just kind of go to work every day, make YouTube videos for fun, and my love of fashion and my love of the plus size community, and just my love of the fashion community in general, plus and straight size otherwise. Just let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see, and let me know if you have a favorite vegan recipe. What's yours? All right, thanks so much guys, and have a fantastic day.